law-abiding citizen. I saw this movie back in the November period. That was around about the time that Twilight Saga New Moon came out. But here in the UK, this came out on November the 27th. So I saw this on its original opening day. And it's a long time since I've done that. The first showing on its first day. So, me and my friend, we went to go and see it. Based on the fact some other friends we're going to see Twilight Saga New Moon, which will be my next review. But anyway, so we decided to not copy them. So we just said, well, Law-Abiding Citizen looks pretty awesome. And it was awesome, I will say that. This has definitely earned its place in my top 10 best of 2009. So, plot of Law-Abiding Citizen, here we go. Now it stars Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx, of course, directed by F. Gary Gray, who directed the 2003 remake of The Italian Job. And Gerard Butler stars as a family man named Clyde Sheldon. What happens? There's a typical evening at his household, having a good time with his family. Who is it? Oh, hello, I'm just going to kill your wife and child. Oh, okay, come in. Pretty much spawns the movie off. That comment wasn't meant to be disrespectful, by the way, to anybody. But, so they basically, a couple of rapists and murderers kill his wife and child before his eyes. And of course, what ends up happening is that 10 years later, in a 10-year difference period, Jamie Foxx's character decides to let them go on sort of the legal, law-abiding sense, whatever. And Gerard Butler's character isn't happy about this, so he tries to spawn off on a killing spree to try to get revenge for what they did to him and what Jamie Foxx's team did to his life. So it all becomes like pretty much a cat and mouse game thriller. Now, let's start off the movie review by saying this. This plot has been repeated about many, many, many times before. You know, there is not one time that this plot pretty much hasn't been used. Let's try to think of other examples. Edge of Darkness quite recently actually used that plot. You know, what else has been using that plot? Can't think of any off the top of my head. I mean, Sweeney Todd kind of used that plot, but either way, that's different video. Anyway, so let's get into the pros and the cons of Law-Abiding Citizen. Pros about the film. Acting was terrific. Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler are two brilliant on-pair screen collaboration together. They really displayed the cat and mouse game that goes on throughout this conspiracy intellectual thriller. And what I liked about the comparison that they did was how they played each other. They severely played each other throughout their performance. So I really do find their performances quite memorable in that sense. Who else was there? There was a guy who played There was a woman who played Jamie Foxx's assistant, who I thought was pretty good, even though a bit underused. But so that's pretty much acting, pretty much done. You know, everyone I think did a phenomenal job. Now let's get into the other pros of the movie. The thriller aspect is terrific. Just when you think that it's going a certain direction, nope, completely wrong. You're moving into a different direction. I like that. It's not a predictable, cheesy flick that tries to make a twist, but it's just so pathetically executed. You can predict the twist from a mile away. And this one, I really think that it definitely makes the effort more worthwhile. Well, as in, you can never tell that it's coming. Anyway, though, what else can I say about Law-Abiding Citizen? Like I say though, so the thriller aspect was good. Acting was terrific. The pacing of the movie is pretty good as well. It didn't drag too much. It didn't feel like it was too slow. It didn't feel like it just went like that. The main thing I loved about Law-Abiding Citizen was that it really kept you engaged. It kept you interested throughout the whole movie. It didn't have to rely on any visual effects. It didn't have to rely on any certain actor just to keep you interested. The movie itself automatically did that. And I really do appreciate F. Gary Gray for doing that. You know, I'm pretty sure that he's an amazing director. And he really does know how to build suspense and raise tension. What else did I like about the film? Like I say, the length of the movie, pretty good as well. You know, it didn't drag too much. And, you know, it didn't feel stretched out. It didn't feel like it was squeezed into anything. So, that was a plus. So now, unfortunately, weird. Anyway, so now unfortunately we have to get into the one and only the cons of the film. Really all I can say is that there was only one teeny problem I had with it. And that was that towards the end it did kind of drag a little bit. Particularly towards the bit where it's the third act, the climax is starting to kick in. And really, to be honest, you know, there was some scenes I think was just starting to drag a little bit. So I was starting to get kind of getting a bit bored, you know what I mean? But other than that, there's really not much I did. I mean, the ending I think was a little bit off. I think it could have been a bit more climactic. But having said that, let's say I think the ending was pretty satisfying, although it could have been better. But look, so overall, what's my overall opinion on Law-Abiding Citizen? I think I love Law-Abiding Citizen pretty much, actually. The kills in the movie, the action suspense, the thriller aspect of it, and you know, and the acting and everything. I just think it was pretty much done perfectionly. Not a perfect movie itself, but pretty damn close. So overall, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars out of 5. I think that it's easily a fantastic movie. Loved every minute of it, and it was certainly worth the £3.50 I paid for it. So that's my review of Law-Abiding Citizen, and if it comes out on DVD, be sure to check it out. Pretty good. So until next time, YouTube, Michael Bowers, signing out.